Our next reader is Blythe Davenport. I'm so happy Blythe is back to read. She's teaching for us again this semester, and I'm happy to say that Philadelphia Stories, our book in print, PS Books published Blythe's poetry collection. So Blythe has found her muse in Philadelphia, the city past and present, abandoned and inhabited, real and imagined. The role that Philadelphia played in United States history has a mythological quality. It is the home of icons both hallowed and reviled. It is a wonderful city to write about and call home. Blythe's writing can be found in Chronogram Magazine, the Painted Bride Quarterly, Mad Poets Review, and the PS Books anthology Forgotten Philadelphia, Art and Writing Inspired by Philadelphia Heritage Sites. Her first book of poetry, second oldest, A Poetic History of Philadelphia, was published by PS Books in December. Please welcome Blythe.
Hi. Thanks everyone for coming out on this freezing cold night. It's crazy. I'm actually going to read a few from the book, and then a couple of newer pieces, though they're almost a year old now. They're works in progress, we'll say. So the first piece I'd like to read is called What Does the Fox Say? No, I'm just kidding. It's not that. You guys are hearing that right now, aren't you? Okay, sorry. No, it's actually, keep it serious here, people. This is actually called Girls High, June 1944. The fresh corsages they wore were hard won, as Don't You Know There's a War On billets gilt next to their diplomas. They could be maids of honor in procession, witnesses to the marriage of pride and duty, gowned each in white and meshy lace trim, slight poof at the shoulder, demure V dips to the bust. They don't smile as their parents and teachers gather behind the cameramen to capture the girls and their flowers. The principal ordered them to fold war stamps into blooms. Knock off a Japanazi. For humanity's sake, don't buy German. Piece these gluey squares into red and blue buds. This is a battle they chose, for an afternoon in June to be free of war. And this next short piece is called Installation. It's not all bronze Jesus and memorials to generals, Pennypacker civil, Teddy Escon chief native debater, negotiator to Penn's men sent to people the green town. Look around you. The place works into art on its daily pirouette. Commute around City Hall Pinion, a courtyard of buses, zipping taxis with bikes lacing edges, detailing busts. Pedestrians step into the tunic of traffic, rhythmed by red lights. Okay, so it's funny going through this book because some of the pieces I wrote them, like 15 years ago, so it's really been interesting to come back and work with them again and look at them again a lot. So this piece is actually one that I wrote back in 2000, probably the oldest one from the collection, and it's called Litter. I sometimes envy the evidence of languid hours, a congregation of acrid filters commiserating beneath a bench, the front stoop caped in feathers of newspaper, shards of green long necks freckling the cement. Until I had sluiced blue smoke to mine coal stripes in my pink lungs, or smashed bottles, pissed incontinent between cars and curbs, I interpreted litter with thick-lipped innocence. Now I smile while walking by. Same mouth, just stained. And then the last piece I think I'm going to read from the book, which I have copies if anyone's interested, is called Rundown. And it's actually about the summer, so we can all sort of imagine ourselves in a warmer place. On summer evenings, a walk through North Philly streets is an exercise in creature sighting. You'll find only ghosts. They sway the yellow leaves and whir in alleys, whistle the window shards on rundown townhouses. Rundown cuddles street corners and stults the city into collapsing parts. You may see hackies maze their cabs down 13th to Minorish stables, maundering in a haze of fumes. Left on the corner, an old man gives you the rundown, hawking his hagiography, a mass of imprisoned beauties and the alphabet of their habits, souls that now flap the plastic, lapidating the window frames. They count the age of the earth by how much salt in the sea, by how much erosion of their city. Okay, so let's move on to a few more recent pieces. And I realize that that Jesus somehow has shown up many times in my work without me even really realizing. But this is called The Shoulders of Giants, and it's about, we were driving down the road one day and there was this just massive cross by the side of the road, and it just got me thinking a little bit. What giant Jesus would we need to fill this cross? The massive arms outstretched, straining against two shoulder joints, popping, releasing, booming. Waist slenders to an almost womanly V, wildly overgrown. Jesus was inhuman, could match any cross man could build, mountainous, galactic. It's not that I don't get it, the comfort that such a power, warm to humans, wielded brings. I get that. It's still imaginary. The choice to believe is not momentous, but fractaled by each second of doubt, devil-seated and delicious in its danger, relieving in its return to grace. The tambourine shake, brittle in the quiet, that settles again to right silence. Belief glories only in its renewal, and for that it must break. And so the massive roadside cross recedes from our car and our minds, until that crushing footstep once again booms in. This is a working title. It's called The Worst Poem in the World. The sun sets over Apollos, the first line in the worst poem in the world. It's a game of 10 billion questions with only one no. The instructions all come from the first star, which we know. A million papyrus scrolls don't speak to the answer. The why does the sun set? Where are the Indians? The tricks that make the stars move and the earth still. Only my passed on genes would know the part of me that stretches across millennia to find this terrible poem and ask it why. Okay, I'm going to read 2 more, I think. I will read 2 more, yes. Okay. This one is called Every Never. The twist starts with her question, why the judge holds a knife above a wedding cake with 2 grooms. My whole body starts to explain. My hands flap, my bottom inches off the chair, my toes dig in. My brain is the only quiet morsel, furling the absurd rules into an umbrella of words. It's like explaining baseball to a Spaniard. My daughter says, I'd be attracted to a girl. Her 4-year-old mouth curls and draws the word into something long, mouth-watering, mind-boggling, a new world. And the last piece is called The Headfirst School of Jumping. I have my first student, and the skin on my face is pulling back. She's just a baby. She won't come up. I'm going to start it. The Headfirst School of Jumping. Okay. I have my first student, and the skin on my face is pulling back. She's just a baby. She won't come up on the cliff. The spray is softer than the air. This music, waves breaking, slippery rock 200 feet over the sea, makes me feel like putting on my denim jacket and walking away cool. I'll tell the story. My yoga teacher startles us into a corpse pose without pain. No coffee, no caffeine. I see it again, the quiet land. Is this about trust? I lie on the mat, palms up, and the quiet washes like the mist, but buttery. Everything relaxes into me. Then I fill the room, nose to the ceiling, back on the floor, all my limbs skittering with this painful piece that my yoga teacher shocked onto me. Time was tarantulan, fuzzy, and many-legged. I couldn't catch it even if I wanted to, which I did. It's terrifying, it's terrifying to watch it climb up the wall. Time was pregnant with baby spiders, and I couldn't stand to watch them hatch, so I stopped in. You always know the good guys because they jump in. The baby squeals. She's my sister, okay? My first client, my baby sister. She's always been proof that I'm not enough. But she would never say. I remember the last time I held her sweaty little hand. Let's not turn this model in music video. I left class and the quiet left me. There's no right in this world. The twist happened so fast. Breathing quit me, a heavy sack lifted, and I was free of life. No more warmth, and all I knew was height. My sister is here. She jumps in. Thank you.